He Shri Guru Dinabandhu Ganadas Swananda Datta Karunaya Sindhu Vrindavana Sinavatara Prasida Shilada Pranaya Prachara Ajanu Lambito Bujo Kanakavaradato Sankirtanai Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijvaro Yugadama Palo Bande Jagatpiyakaro Karunavataro Ananda Vilamaya Hemam Dibaksha Vishundaraya Tasma Mahaprema Rashapudaya Shri Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Kasturiti Lakam Lakapatale Vakslena Kostavam Sagre Varmoptikam Karatare Venu Karakankanam Shava Anga Harichandanam Sulalitam Kanta Muktavari Rajastrio Pariveshito Vijayate Gopal Chudamani Eshi Shamashundara Shikara Shekara Smiraha Shumali Manohara Radikarasika Mamakipanidi Supriya Charina King Kurin Kuru Tavai Vasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radekam Nayamam Charanantiku Yat Kinkareshu Bahusa Kaluka Kavani Nityaparasha Purusha Shakandamuri Tashakadara Sanidev Samanujas Tatyali Kunja Bhavanangana Marajini Shama Jhami Radha Ravinda Netram Smarami Radha Madhura Smitasham Adhami Radha Karuna Barajam Tato Manasti Gati Nagapi Pakita Vihino Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadi Tarangamaje Kripa Mai Twang Sharanang Prapana Vrinde Namaste Charanara Panchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitana Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandavat Pranam, devotees. So I'm doing a short morning Pushpanjali and glorification of Sriman Mahaprabhu and Gaura Purnima. So this is a most auspicious day. So anytime there's any Vaishnav Tithi, we always say it is the most auspicious day. But this Gaura Purnima is most auspicious because it is the day in which the Lord manifests His Audhorya. Audhorya means His magnificence, His extreme compassion, His mercy in an unmeasurable degree in order to descend. And He descends for two reasons. One, Prema Rasniyas Karite Ashwadan. Secondly, Rag Marg Bhakti Lok Karite Pracharan. Why? Rasik Shekara Parama Karun. Because Shri Krishna is Rasik Shekara, means He is Akila Rasamritamurti. He is the complete embodiment of the taster of rasa in an unlimited degree. And because He's also Parama Karuna, means He is extremely merciful. He descends in order to taste Prem Rasa Niryas. Prem Rasa Niryas means what is the highest quality of Prem. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita it describes Ladini Sara Bhav, Bhav Sara Prem, Prem Paramakostanam, Mahabhav, Mahabhav Sarupini, Sri Radha Thakurani. So essentially, the meaning of the Lord's descent in order to taste Prem Ras Niryas means to taste what is the love, what is the Prem of Srimati Radhika. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's also clearly mentioned there that the Lord, after manifesting unlimited pastimes, the Lord manifested the beauty and transcendental nature of his Braja Leela. So let me begin by explaining some ontology regarding Sri Krishna and his unfoldment to becoming Mahaprabhu. Sri Krishna is described as Atmaramata, completely self-satisfied. In the Skanda Purana, it mentions Krishna's Atmaramata is described like this. Atmaramas turarika tasya ramana evaso Atmaramas iti prokta munibir guyavheribir. So it describes that the confidential meaning that is understood by all Rishi Sadhus, pure devotees, and the confidential meaning that's written in the Sastra regarding the meaning of the word Atmaram in relation to Krishna is that Radhika is Amurt. Amurt means not manifesting her form. She is playing within the heart of Sri Krishna. Because she is playing within the heart of Sri Krishna, Krishna is called Atmaramata or Radha Ramana. You understand? Like the deity of Vrindavan, Radha Raman. It means that Radhika, though she's not present directly before our vision, she is Amurt and she is playing within the heart of Krishna. Therefore, the deity is called Radha Ramana. So, this is the secret of Krishna's Atmaramata. But there is another type of taste. And because, as we already mentioned, Krishna is Akila Rasamritamurti, he desires to taste rasa in so many expanded ways. So another feature is called Pararamata. The word para means tasting via others. So this Pararamata is actually a superior taste for Sri Krishna. Therefore, he eternally manifests his dhams, his abode, his eternal associates in all various incarnations, because the taste of happiness derived from interaction with all of these manifestations of his own energy is even more pleasurable than Krishna's self-satisfaction or his Atmaramata. So this Pararamata, it is what, as I said, manifests all of the Leelas, all of the eternal associates, the Dham, everything for Sri Krishna to enjoy. When this Pararamata takes place, it is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Radha Krishna achayi eki sarup, Leela rase asudite dhare dui rup. So Radha and Krishna are one reality. Krishna Purna Shakti, Radhika Purna Shakti, Krishna Purna Shakti Mam. Dui Vastu, Beg Nahi. So Radha and Krishna are one reality. There's really no difference between them. But Leela Rasa Asudite Dhare Duriru. For the sake of tasting rasa and experiencing that taste of rasa through various kinds of transcendental Leela, they have eternally manifested in two forms. And in these two forms, they have taken the essential ingredients of rasa. What essential ingredient? It is called alamban. Alamban means two things, Vishaya alamban and Asraya alamban. So Krishna is the Vishaya alamban. He is the object of love. And Srimati Radhika and all of the expansions of those who serve, love, and worship the Lord come in the category of Asraya Jatiya or Asraya alamban. So in this way, the foundational elements of rasa, which Krishna wants to taste, are manifest eternally. So, Leela rasa asadite dhari duriru. So how does Krishna taste so many varieties of Leela? How does Krishna experience all these things? Krishna's Shakti, his Mool Shakti is Srimati Radhika. And that Shakti undergoes so many transformations. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Ashmad ekatmano api bhuvi puradeha beram gatau tau. So it says that the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna, the transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure potency, which is called Radhini Shakti. The personification of that Radhini Shakti is none other than Srimati Radharani herself. But that pleasure potency undergoes so many different transformations to manifest so many different aspects for the Lord to enjoy. The Lord has unlimited incarnations. Rama adi murteshu kala niyamena tishtan nanavataram akrod bhuvaneshu kintu. Right? So all of these unlimited incarnations headed by Sri Ramchandra Bhagavan, they also have expansions of this Ladini Shakti, like Sita Devi, like Lakshmi Devi for Lord Narayan. And in this way, that Shakti also expands to become the Leela Shakti. Right? If you visit any temple in South India, you will always see that there are 3 deities that accompany Lord Narayan. One deity is Sri, one deity is Bhu, and one deity is Leela. So this represents the Ladini Shakti. Means, Sri means the manifestation or expansion of Srimati Radhika. Bhu Shakti is also an expansion of that Shakti, a prakash of that Shakti, and it means the manifestation of the Dham. And Leela Shakti or Neela Shakti means manifestation of Yog Maya in order to provide the atmosphere in which the Lord enjoys their various pastimes. So the transformation of these Shaktis, they eternally provide the arena of rasa in so many varieties for Sri Krishna. So tasting all these various varieties of pastimes in so many different incarnations, the rasa, the intensity of rasa, grows exponentially in each manifestation or each incarnation. So it's described in that same verse, Chaitanyakyam prakratam aduna tat dvayam chayakyam aptam. It says now that same Radha and Krishna who have eternally manifested 2 roops in order to enjoy Leela and the taste of Leela Rasa have now again tat dvayam, these 2 chayakyam aptam, have obtained oneness. So there's a very deep significance in saying that again they have obtained oneness. There's a very deep meaning here. The meaning is that throughout all of the various incarnations of the Lord, where he's tasted unlimited types of rasa, the pinnacle of those pastimes comes in the form of Krishna Leela. Krishna's Leela is called, he is called Leela Purushottam. It means this is the highest caliber of Krishna's Leela. And in Krishna's Leela, Braj Leela, the highest manifestation of a particular pastime is called Rasa Leela. In the Madhya Leela chapter 8 in Ramananda Samvad, Sri Ramananda Roy described this to Mahaprabhu. Samyak Saravasana Krishnera Rasa Leela. And also we sing it. Shira Samandala Jaya Jaya Radheshama Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarva Manorama. We acknowledge the supremacy of Rasa Leela. We acknowledge this is the highest manifestation of rasa. And Ramananda Roy told to Mahaprabhu also, Samyak Saravasana Krishna Rasa Leela, Rasa Leela Vasanate, Radhika Shrinkala. That the highest manifestation of Leela to be tasted, where rasa can be tasted, is called Rasa Leela. And the Shrinkala, or the binding thread of that Rasa Leela, is Srimati Radhika. So Krishna, in Krishna Leela, he tastes the fullness of rasa up to the highest manifestation, which is called Madanakya Mahabhav. So this Madanakya Mahabhav is exclusive to Srimati Radhika. It is a transformation of Anurag. Anurag undergoes various transformations to become Mahabhav. Mahabhav has the features of Modan, Mohan, and exclusively in Srimati Radhika, Madanakya Mahabhav. So Krishna gets to taste the highest experience of being the object of that Madanakya Mahabhav. But one curiosity is there in Krishna. What is that curiosity? Though I'm able to taste the unlimited nature of being in the position of the Vishaya, or the object of this extreme high caliber of love, I want to know what is the nature of that love itself. What is the experience of that love itself? When Radha and Krishna, and I'm speaking ontologically because there's no history that Radha and Krishna separated, so forth and so on, right? I'm speaking ontologically in the verse, Radha Krishna Chahi Eki Sarup Lila Rasa Sudite Dari Duri Rup. They're eternally manifest as two forms, right? But for the sake of describing how rasa expands and grows, this ontological description is given. So now, Krishna, even in the nature of Braj Lila, the highest kind of Lila, still, Purva Vrajavilase 18 Abhilas. Krishna remains with three desires to be fulfilled, even though he's tasted the highest quality of Prem Ras. You understand? He wants to know what is that Prem Ras from the perspective of the Asraya Jatiya, means from the perspective of Srimati Radhika. So, Sri Radha Pranaya, Mahima Kidriso Hanyeva, Swajo Yaat Yena Adbhuta, I'm sorry, Swajo Yena Adbhuta Madurima Kidriso Hamadiya. So Krishna wants to know, what is the nature, the Mahima, what is the glory of the Pranay? Pranay means love, but also Pranay means a special kind of love. Like Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranaya or Pranayaman, Rag, Anurag, etc. So Pranay means that love in which all barriers are broken down. And the lover and beloved can be in close proximity with no feelings of any barriers between them. So once at Prem Sarovara, Srimati Radhika was sitting on the lap of Krishna, which indicates Pranay. Because at this time she feels no shyness, there is no blockage, no barrier to her giving full expression to her love. So she's sitting on the very lap of Krishna. At that time, the beauty of the face of Srimati Radhika, the wonderful nature of the Surabha Gandha, means the beauty of the fragrance coming from the body of Radhika, manifest. And this attracted bumblebees. So those bumblebees coming very close to Srimati Radhika gave rise to one trust bhav, means like a fear. And so at that time, Madhu Mangal, Priyanarma Saka, who was there, he picked up one stick and he chased that bee away. One name for a bee is called Madhusudan, but also Madhusudan is the name of Krishna. So when Madhu Mangal chased that bee away, he proudly proclaimed, "Oh, Madhusudan is gone and he will not return." So because one of the features of Madanakya Mahabhav is that every sense independently becomes overwhelmed by different features of Krishna's Chatur Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Rup Madhuri, Prem Madhuri, and Lila Madhuri, right? These senses can become overwhelmed individually by any of these features or the qualities of Krishna, like his aroma, like his smile, so many different things. So Radhika, having closed her eyes and only heard Madhusudan is gone and he will not return, though she was sitting on the lap of Krishna, she began to experience the mood of separation because her sense of hearing took over her entire consciousness. And though she was sitting, so tactile experience is there. Even the sense of smell is there because Krishna's bodily aroma is there, right? If she cracks her eyes, Krishna's face is right there. But still, by the power of her Madanakya Mahabhav, as soon as she heard, only through the sense of hearing, that Krishna had gone, that one sense took over everything else, and she experienced the mood of separation. This is called Prem Vaichitya. It means an astonishing mood of separation that can take place even in the presence of one's beloved. So Krishna, seeing this amazing feature of Radhika's Prem, he could not understand it or digest it. Also, during the disappearance of Krishna from the Sarid Ras Leela, at that time, when he again met up with Radhika and was doing Vanvihar, means traveling through various forests alone with Radhika, and all the gopis, right, were looking for them. At one point, Radhika, in a desire to allow her Sakhis to be satisfied, I'm just giving quickly some backdrop, and also Krishna realizing that he wanted to manifest the glory of Srimati Radhika's mood to the other gopis, Krishna told Radhika that we should continue to move throughout the various forests. And Radhika told at that time, listen, I am very tired. So if you wish me to go any further, you can carry me. So immediately when Radhika said this, also a feeling of great shyness came over her at the same time. So she closed her eyes, because Krishna told, yes, you climb on my back and I will carry you. So Radhika immediately became some shy, and she closed her eyes. And when she closed her eyes, just as I told about Prem Sarovara, only one sense is necessary to completely captivate the consciousness of Radhika. By closing her eyes and losing sight of Krishna for that minute, again she manifested this Prem Vaichitya. So Krishna hiding in any bush, he witnessed this. And then he witnessed her various moods of separation as she laid there and the other gopis approached. So in this way, Krishna could realize there's something in the Asraya Jatya, which from the position of being Vishaya Jatya, I'm unable to taste. I want to know what this is. So Shri Radha Pranaya Mahima Kijasovani Eva Swajo Jaina Bhuta Madhurima. And how does Radhika experience my Madhuri? Rup Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, Prem Madhuri. What does Radhika feel when she experiences these Madhuris? More than that, Shokyam Chasha Mat Anubhavataha Kidusam Veti Lobat. He also became very greedy to understand what is the nature of her happiness. When she experiences my Madhuri, she becomes extremely happy to the point of manifesting bhavs like Prem Vaichitya. What is that happiness? I cannot tell. I cannot understand. Only if I will be able to get in the position of Srimati Radhika will I be able to understand. Therefore, Tad Bhavadhyaya Samajani Sachigarva Sindhudandu. For this reason, he arranged the pastime of coming as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the nature of why Mahaprabhu descends. To taste this exclusive mood of Srimati Radhika, which is not manifest anywhere else. So a person can question, wait a minute, Krishna is omnipotent and he is omniscient. How is it possible that he does not know everything? Well, in order to taste Leela Ras, from the very first verse that I mentioned, Krishna, by the nature of his Shakti, which works independently for his happiness, Parasha Shakti Vidvidaiva Shuryate Swabhava Bhala Jnana Kriya Cha. Krishna's Shaktis work Swabhavik, means that they work independently for his happiness. One feature of creating a happiness to taste rasa is that the features of Savagya and Mugdata are present. Savagya means to be able to know everything, but Mugdata means to be bewildered by things in the course of the Leela. So in this way, Krishna can experience Naravat Leela. I'm giving an example. Krishna is all-powerful, yet when he's asked by Nanda Baba to bring his slippers, Nanda Baba's slippers, Krishna has difficulty picking them up and carrying them. Similarly, though Krishna is omniscient and he knows everything, if Radhika does not show up to any rendezvous, then Krishna will become completely bewildered and completely distraught, thinking, where is she? Why has she not come yet? He will ask Subal to go and search for her. So though he is omnipotent and omniscient, in the face of the extreme prem of Vrijabasis, especially Srimati Radhika, his omniscience and omnipotence is checked. And this is the nature of his Leela Shakti, manifesting this in order for the Lord to taste the Naravat Leela, the happiness of human-like pastimes, and to extract from that the extreme taste of rasa that comes from this kind of Braj Prem, especially Shrimati Radhika's Prem. So for this reason, the Lord descends. So one question may also come. If the Lord is completely happy within the spiritual world, why can't this pastime of the Lord's descent as Mahaprabhu just simply stay in Nitya Gaura Lila in Swetadvip? Right? The eternal feature of Navadvip Dham. Why doesn't the Lila only manifest there? What is the need of that Lila to descend here? So it's a very interesting thing. The Lord is also declared, Prem Naiva Goparamanam Kamam Iti Agamat Pratam Udava Adayo Apietan Vajanti Bhagavat Priya. That the Lord not only himself wanted to taste the nature of this Braj Rasa from the point of view of the Ashraya Jatiya, but in tasting it, Rag Marg Bhakti Lok Karite Pracharan, he wanted to distribute it to devotees from other incarnations, headed by Uddhava. Devotees like Uddhava, they also prayed, what is the nature of this Braj Rasa? Right? Asamaho Jusam Maham Sham Vrindavane Kim Guma Alatta Shodinam. Uddhava prayed, I wish to become even a blade of grass in Vrindavan, that the gopis, after he heard Brahmar Geet, seeing the height of their praying, that these gopis will be able to walk, especially one gopi, and their foot dust may come upon my head. So Uddhava had this mood that he also wanted to taste Braj Ras. Panch Pandavas. When Raghunath Das Goswami was building Radhakund and Shyamakund by making some construction, when he wanted to build Shyamakund like the symmetric nature of Radhakund, he could not do so because in his swapna, in his dream, the Pandavas appeared to him and says, please, we are doing bhajan here in the form of trees. So also, Panch Pandavas, they also want to understand the glory of what is Braj mood. Lakshmi Devi at Bhelwan, she's also doing austerities in order to understand the glory of this Braj Ras, especially the mood of gopis. So in this way, there are so many devotees from so many other incarnations, and they also want to understand the glory of the height of the Lord's loving pastimes. So in order to facilitate that, the Lord invites all of these devotees to come into Gaur Leela. So this is another reason why the Lord brings the whole entire Nitya Gaur Leela and makes it descend to this world. Another reason is expressed in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam Manushinam Dehinam Astita. When the Lord descends, at the same time that he gives pleasure, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam, and mercy to his own devotees, right? Manushinam Dehinam Astita. Those who embody, Bhajate Tatrasikritva Yat Shutva Tat Parobhavet. If they take up the instruction of the Lord, the word bhavet in Sanskrit is like an imperative that you must do this. If the devotee, if the jivas who've been conditioned from anadikal want to be delivered, then by all means, tat shutva, yat shutva, tat parobhavet. They should hear the transcendental pastimes of the Lord when he descends, especially those pastimes that come in the most magnificent incarnation of all, which is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They should hear the transcendental nature of the Lord's appearance and activities as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially. In this way, those jivas who've been conditioned from time without in the beginning, this becomes immediately their ability to get out of the material entanglement. The Leela of Radha and Krishna is Madhurya. It is exclusive, and it is not so easily digestible by the conditioned jivas. Though still the instruction is there to hear Krishna Leela, but how should one hear Krishna Leela? Sharanvito Anusrinu Yadvana Yadyaha. You should hear in the category of those who are Shraddhavan, means who have Paramatik Shraddha, who have a realization. And those who have any realization about the true nature of Sri Krishna Lila have understood it via the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Swarup Damodar told one Bengali poet, listen, if you really want to understand what is Krishna and how to glorify Krishna, even in the form of Lord Jagannath, then you should go and you should place yourself at the feet of any Vaishnav who has taken shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one can understand Radha Krishna Lila without coming through the Lila of Mahaprabhu. Gaurangera Rasana Veshetaranga Jebe Duve Shri Radha Madhav Antaranga. If you will dive deeply into the ocean of Gaura Rasa, the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then you'll come up in the Antaranga, the inner circle of Sri Radha Madhav. So Mahaprabhu's Lila is the means by which one can enter into the understanding of Krishna Lila. So when this Lila descends to this world, it is imperative of anyone who wants their great fortune to manifest to take shelter of those devotees coming in the line of Mahaprabhu to hear about the transcendental nature of Mahaprabhu's appearance and activities. So Mahaprabhu arranges that this will happen. How? Pancha Tattvakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So the Lord himself says, how will I make this reality available to so many jivas in the material world? How will it happen? So first the Lord accepts the Bhakta Roop. Right? How? Bhakta Roop here means Radha and Krishna again in one form. So how does he accept that? As I mentioned earlier, Krishna, when he ended his Braj pastimes, Purva Vraj Vilase Eitina Bilas. So after Krishna's pastimes are winding down, after the Mosala Lila, Krishna went and he sat under one pipal tree near Prabhas. There Krishna became completely absorbed in meditation. Two things the Lord was meditating on. One thing he was meditating on is, Shri Radha Pranaya Mahima Kidraso Bhanyeva. How will I taste what is the pranaya of Srimati Radhika? Also, once in Dwarka, in the room of Rohini Ma, all of the Dwarka Mahishis had, means the queens of Dwarka, they had a symbol there. And they wanted to ask, because they saw manifest in Krishna all of his love and affection for Brijabasis. Whenever Krishna would be sleeping at night with them, Krishna would call out the names of his cows. Then Krishna would call out the name of his cowherd boyfriends. Finally, he would call out the name of various gopis. And then, piteously crying, he would call out the name of Srimati Radhika. So all of the queens thought, how is it possible amongst the most beautiful women in all creation, in the most opulent environment of all creation, that something could be so impressed in the heart of the Lord that he weeps and is so greatly sad amidst this environment. So, being a little shy, they didn't want to approach anyone else, but they knew that Rohini Ma, herself really being a Brijavasi, she would be affectionate to them and she could answer this question. So they all approached Rohini Ma, and the Ashtabhariya, means the 8 principal queens, they did not speak, but among the 16,000 queens, one spoke up and asked, Rohini Ma, can you please tell us something about the glory of Braj? Can you specifically tell us about the glory of Krishna's mother and father, Krishna's friends? Can you also please tell us about the glories of the village girls in Braj? And then they revealed how Krishna manifests at night all of these various sentiments and deep moods regarding the Brijabasis. So they felt they could not ask anyone else, so they begged Rohini Ma to please explain to them. So Rohini knew that if I begin to speak Braj Katha, no matter where Krishna and Balaram are, Naham Tistami Vaikunte Yoginam Hridayeshuva. Even if the Lord is in Vaikunta, if the Lord is in the heart of any yogi doing meditation, as soon as he will hear any devotee glorifying him, especially his Braja Leela, Krishna will immediately run from that place and come to where such glorification is going on. So Rohini Ma said, listen, I can tell you, but Subhadra, you should go and you should guard the door. If your brothers, they should come, immediately you should stop them from entering. Because if they will hear this katha, they will become completely unconscious. They will become completely immersed in remembering Braj and Brijabasis. And so much pain and sorrow will come in their heart. So Subhadra took up the task. She went to the door, extended her arms to protect the doorway. And in this way, Rohini Ma began to recite the Mahiman, the glory of Braj and Brijabasis. So at that time, of course, not by proximity hearing, but by hearing through the heart the glorification of his Braj and Brijabasis, Krishna, though he was very far away in the meeting hall, he immediately jumped up and he ran in order to find out the source of this katha. He realizing it's coming from the palace and the room of Rohini Ma, he immediately came to that place. But he was checked outside the door by Subhadra. In the meantime, Rohini Ma was narrating with such deep mood all of the glories of Braj and Brijabasis, and especially Gopis, and Srimati Radhika. And in this way, Krishna began to manifest all the Astasattvic Vikara of Mahabhav. And also those hearing it, they were also experiencing these symptoms. So Subhadra Devi, her arms shrunk completely in because she had been hearing this katha for some time. So her eyes became completely dilated. Similarly, the Lord and Balaram, they both also manifested this form where their arms became shrunken, their eyes dilated, their bodies became contorted in some way. In this way, Krishna and Balaram, hearing the narration of Rohini Ma, they manifested these roops of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. They are called Mahabhav roops. They've come under the influence of the Mahabhav arising in the heart by hearing this Braj Katha from Rohini Ma. Narad Muni, who always manages to show up as though he has a permanent Facebook messenger to tell him exactly when Krishna is doing any kind of wonderful pastime. So Narada Muni showed up just at that time. And when Narada Muni showed up, he was completely ecstatic because he saw what no one else had ever seen. He saw now manifest this beautiful form of the Lord in the mood of absorption in Mahabhav. And therefore he prayed that this form would be visible to the whole world because this form is so auspicious. It is the form of the Lord completely manifesting his mood of love and affection for Brijabasis. And just by hearing the glories of Brijabasis, he took this form. So the Lord promised to Narada, Tatastu, so be it, that he would manifest this form of Jagannath. So when Shri Krishna was meditating under the pipal tree, after the Mosala Leela, he was absorbed in these two things. And he himself mentioned in Shri Bhagavad Gita, Yam Yam Vapi Smaram Bhavam Tajayate Ante Kalevaram. Kalevaram means a form. Krishna says you will obtain that form what you are absorbed in meditating on at the time that you leave this world. So when Krishna was leaving this world, he was absorbed in two features of meditation. One, what is the Mahima of Radhika? And therefore he wanted to obtain a form which would accommodate him being able to understand that. Secondly, Krishna has always had a desire to see that wonderful feature of himself tasting Radhika's bhav. Therefore, he manifested the form of Jagannath. And therefore, at the Rath Yatra, Krishna himself, with huge dilated eyes in Mahabhav, could witness himself tasting the mood of Radhika. So it's like having your cake and eating it too. In the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's tasting the mood of Srimati Radhika, and in the form of Lord Jagannath, he's witnessing himself do so. So in this way, the Lord brings his pastimes down to this world. He becomes the Bhakta Roop. But even when the Lord takes the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there has to be a means by which all of these things we're speaking about, they can become revealed to the jivas. Therefore, Panchatatvakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam. Therefore, the revelatory power to reveal these things manifest as the Bhakta Swarup. The Bhakta Swarup is Nityananda Prabhu, Akanda Guru Tattva, the undivided principle of Guru. Without the undivided principle of Guru, no revelation of the Bhakta Roop means no revelation of the inner nature of how Krishna has taken the mood and form of Mahaprabhu to taste Radhika's internal moods. This could not be revealed if it wasn't for Akanda Guru Tattva Nityananda, and hence by extension Vyasti Guru. You understand? It means our individual gurus. Right? If we have not come in this line, we could not understand these things. So, Bhakta Rupa and Bhakta Swarup. But even when the ability, the power to reveal these truths is manifest, unless it descends to the plane of the jivas, they would not have access to it. Therefore, Bhakta Avatar, therefore the Lord himself, who takes part in the creation of the material world as Sadashiva, Mahavishnu, he himself comes as Advaita Acharya, and he arranges for the descent of this reality to come to this plane as the Bhakta Avatar. Even when all of it descends to this plane, how will the jivas be able to make connection with it? Only via bhakti. Therefore, Shri Gadadhar is Radhika herself, the Mool Shakti of Bhakti Shakti. Bhakti Shakti is the means by which one receives revelation. So that Shakti, its original form, Srimati Radhika herself descends as Gadadhar Pandit. In this way, Radhika witnesses how Krishna is also tasting her moods, same time by her Shakti and through her pure devotees, like Srivas. She distributes that through her extreme compassion to all of the other associates of Mahaprabhu, other associates of the Lord from previous incarnations, and by extension of those devotees to the jivas who are suffering within the material world. Srivas literally means Shri Bhakti Rasa Hridayatam Ataha Srivas Uchite. Chaitanya Charitamrita says that Srivas's name is Srivas because Shri Bhakti Rasa is manifest fully in his heart and residing there. So in the same way, the pure devotees who are the repositories of Bhakti Rasa in their hearts, they are the conduit by which the jivas in this world will also get to experience the understanding of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his descent, his mercy, his pastimes. And via that conduit of the pure devotees coming in the line of Mahaprabhu, they will do Anugati and take entrance also into that. And by that, they will get the glory of being able to understand Mahaprabhu's Leela, Radha Krishna Leela, and by extension, all other Leelas that have been performed by the Lord, which are really expansions from these Leelas. Because the Adi Rasa is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya Yataha Anvayaditaracha Sharteshu Abhigyasarat, that the Adi Rasa, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is given in his Tika, the Adi Rasa is this Madhurya Rasa of Radha and Krishna, which manifest in two forms, directly and indirectly. Anvayat Itaratas means by meeting and separation. This is the pinnacle of all of the Lord's existence. Everything is based on this. Right? Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anade Adira Govinda Sava Karana Karanam. What is it that Govinda, the Lord, what does he cause to happen? He causes by his icha, by his desire for the unfoldment of all of the things we just mentioned. So the Lord's desire is manifest, and because he's completely independent, Abhigyasarat, he's completely cognizant and independent to taste rasa, his icha, his desire for the unfoldment of this entire thing that we just described takes place. So Brahma wrote in Brahma Samhita in 5th chapter, he starts with this verse, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. That even though the Lord is Satchit Ananda Vigraha, means he's Atmanam, because everything is within him, still he has a desire, and this desire causes him to create by his desire, and thereby, because of his desire, the response of his Shakti to create everything we just talked about in order for the Lord to taste all kinds of rasa up to the highest kind of rasa, which is manifest in Krishna Lila. And then from Krishna Lila, the Lord wants to taste the position of the Ashraya Jatiya, and therefore the Lila of Mahaprabhu was called Prem Purushottam Lila. Krishna's Lila Purushottam, the highest kind of Lila. But the highest manifestation of praying is manifest and understood in Gaur Lila. Therefore, Gaur Lila is the Lila of Prem Purushottam. And Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj used to always say, this is Bhakti Naipunya. This is the Lila in which Bhakti reaches its pinnacle. Because it is Adhorja. It spreads its causeless mercy and touches everyone in a very, very wide way. So, of course, later on we'll speak more about the appearance and actual pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That'll probably be later on in the evening. I'm not sure what time that is set up for, so I'll maybe post it later on in comments or something. But I just wanted to start the morning myself, forgive all mistakes and everything, but I just wanted to start the morning after my bhajan to remember in some way and sharing about the glory of the appearance and the reasons for the appearance and something regarding Gaur Tattva as well, and begin the day like that. So I will take leave here, devotees, and begin to do some other things I have to do for the day regarding some seva for Shri Shri Gaura Gadadhar and Shri Shri Radha Vallabhju. So my Dandavad Pranams. Jai Shri Gaura Pani Maha Mahotsav ki Jai, Jai Shri Gurudeva ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Parampara ki Jai, Nitya Jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.